Well, my restoration on the 1973 CT175 is coming to an end. I'm pretty much done with this project, and I say that because there still are a few little things that I plan on getting around to. But I'm not necessarily in a hurry to get those done. It'll just happen when it happens. This is not a full-on back-to-stock restoration. It wasn't given to me with enough parts to really make that financially legitimate, so I worked with what I got. This bike essentially was destined for the landfill, so I took it on as a winter project, and here's my final results. First thing you may notice is that it does not have the oil tank, nor does it have the oil pump. This is an oil-injected two-stroke 175 cc engine. Because that's missing, I use premix and I run that at about 32:1. Again, I'm not 100% sure that that's right, but so far it seems to be working pretty well. If you've been following along, you know what the condition of this bike was when I first got it and tore into it. And I must say I'm pretty happy with the end product so far. It runs well. I think it looks pretty good for a garage restoration. Got myself a new seat cover. Did some modifications to the rear fender. It does not have a tail light. I do have the original, but I'm not going to put that back on. It was missing all of the signal lights. Not really sure where I'll go with that. You also may notice that this is not a stock exhaust. This is an aftermarket. So that was one of the items that I did not have. All of that was part of the decision not to bring this back to complete full stock. This bike managed to, over the course of the winter, have every part into the house except for the wheels themselves. Painting when it's 30 degrees outside is a little bit of a challenge. So this had to be painted, brought into the house, dried, take it back out, recoat it, bring it back in. Everything that's on here now works. This is a 6-bolt system. I've got 350/18s in the front, which I'm really happy with. I went with a 410/18 in the back. I would have liked to have gotten a little more width on that, but sometimes you just don't know what you're getting when you order it over the internet. Someday I'd like to replace that tire and get a little more meat back there. I think it would change the looks of the bike just slightly, but that's me being picky, slightly anal. Sneak in close here. The engine ran when I got it. That was one of the first things I wanted to test on this bike before I put a lot of time and energy into it. I went with a pod filter. I still have the stock air box on this, but this is not going to see the dirt. It's not going to see the trails. I would never use a pod filter if I was going to take this back out into the dirt. I just don't think you can stop enough of the dust and other particles that are going to get in there and beat your engine up. So there you have it. We'll do a quick start. Let you listen to it for a minute. This is one of my better starting machines in my house. I don't think I've got anything that starts as well as this does. That is when I remember to turn the key to the on position. This bike, not really sure why they went with this decision, but it runs off of a 6-volt system, and the only thing that runs off the battery are the rear brake lights and the signal lights. Everything else runs off a magneto. So like I told my buddy the other day about the headlight, this headlight is for you to be seen, not for you to see. Under here is where we've got the battery. Nice little compact unit. So there you go. If you've been following along, hope you've enjoyed some of these videos, and hopefully they've been helpful. Whether you own this bike or something similar, I think you can always learn from somebody else's project, even if it's just something minor. On a final note, this is part of the original owner's setup. At some point he decided that he wanted a spare master link with him, and to pay respect to him, I've left that on there. So that master link is from the mid-70s, I'm guessing. He had originally put about 2,100 miles on this, if my memory serves me correctly, and it was last registered in 1977. So that was the last time that this bike was ever registered and probably ever ridden. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this, and keep your eye out for me. Thanks for watching.